Hello, my name is Justin. Welcome to this fun little video that I have created for you all. See, a couple weeks ago, I was streaming Killing Floor 2, and lo and behold, at that time, Killing Floor 3 was announced at Gamescom. Now, I woke up to this and not realizing that Killing Floor 3 had been announced. So, I did any normal thing any kind of streamer or YouTuber would do. I would just sit down, react, and play Killing Floor 2 as I creamed. Is Killing Floor 3 a thing? Yes! Yes, it is! Because I was going to play Silent Hill 2 today, but I woke up to Killing Floor 3, and I was like, ah! So anyway, during the stream, I had one of the actual Killing Floor 3 developers hop onto the stream and say hello. And honestly, I'm not going to lie, at that moment in time, I thought the dude was fucking with me. That's right. That's fucking right, bitch! Fucking die, bitch! Man, I need a better graphics card. You know what? This is what I think about your goddamn balloons. It's your map Monster Ball. This map is awesome. This map is so fun. Wait, hold, wait, what, wait, huh, what, wait, hold up. You would only phrase it like that. You would only phrase it like that if that meant you made the map. I suspect Tripwire Interactive. There's no way. Huh? Are you hyping me up?
10 seconds.
Stop. I made Containment Station 2, then I got hired for that one, and then I made Monster Ball. So you actually fucking made— hold the fuck up. No way, dude. Dude, this is like one of my— I was just saying, this is like one of my favorite maps in the entire list of Killing Floor. Not only that, but it's got some of my favorite music. But once I actually saw his name on the Containment Station map, and the fact that he created Monster Ball, one of my favorite levels in Killing Floor 2, I got really excited. So Killing Floor 2 and I have a really good history. When this game came out in 2016, me and all of my buddies essentially hopped onto the game. And we've created moments such like these.
Alcohol? Alcohol. I'm a alcoholic.
I'm a alcoholic.
Alan, you're a friend. The best of friends.
Where's the exosuit? You motherfucker!
Freaking explosions everywhere, man. There's so much shit happening at one time.
He's raping me! I said no! Holy fuck! Feel my broadsword, motherfucker! But I'm just killing everything.
With a broadsword.
Yeah, with a fucking broadsword. Just you wait, motherfucker, that's what's gonna happen.
Next time on The Walking Dead.
Doesn't it? We get it. You're weeboo.
So says the kid who only talks about anime.
Oh, he comes back. He comes back.
Now this fell person, he actually has a Twitch channel that you should go check out. Link in the description. Also, he's really cool. Check him out. Look at this beautiful, handsome man. He's great, isn't he? So in this particular video that you are currently watching right now, I actually got to sit down with Fel and conduct an interview with him to see if I can just, you know, prod and poke his mind and his brain, what kind of person he is, and also to see if I can get any tiny bits of Killing Floor 3 information. Now, I do want to let everybody know that he is under NDA. And if you don't know what NDA is, it is a non-disclosure agreement. Now, I would best advise that you all kind of look up what an NDA is in detail. But to kind of give you it in layman's terms, a NDA are legally enforceable contracts that create a confidential relationship between a person who has sensitive information and a person who will gain access to that information. A confidential relationship means one or both parties have a duty not to share that information. And if Fel were to give me any real actual info on the game itself, not only would he get in trouble, but I might get in trouble.
Tell no one!
I don't know the whole ins and outs of the whole thing, but yeah, there you go. So when I conduct this interview, and that way you can kind of get an understanding of what this is going to be, do not expect any actual real information and detail about Killing Floor 3, as there are no real answers here. But as someone who has been working on Killing Floor 3, I feel like he has a lot of interesting things to say, and I feel like you guys would actually really enjoy being able to sit down and listen to an actual dev of this game who works at Tripwire and actually be able to kind of like get a one-to-one experience with somebody who gets to play Killing Floor 3 on their daily basis, just so that way they can work on it and get it out on time. And with that being said, without further ado, here is the interview. Holy shit, that fucking rhymed. Well, this is it, everybody. This is the part where I get to talk to the KF3 dev. Ain't that exciting? Ain't that just great? So, I thought I'd let him introduce himself. Phil, say hello. How are you?
Yeah, doing good. Yeah, I'm Fel. I'm the senior technical level designer at Tripwire. I've been working at Tripwire for going on maybe 7 years now. Been a while. But yeah, hello.
Hello. Seven
Hello.
seven fucking years. That's crazy. See,
Well,
it's
Yeah, 7 years in-house, and then I also did contract work outside. So it's technically like probably 9 or 10 years I've been working with Tripwire.
yeah. Oh, for sure. I guess because I got 20 questions here, but I guess the first one that I'd rather kind of get into, which is kind of further down the list, but the first question I have for you, dude, is like what was your inspiration about getting into game development and working on a series like Killing Floor? What kind of got you there?
Well, I think it started when I actually bought Killing Floor 1. Cause I remember we were playing, my friend group and I were playing Left 4 Dead, and then we saw that Killing Floor was coming out, and it was like, ooh, 6 players. Yeah, I really liked the game, and then I found out it had level editor, and I've been doing level design my whole life, since I was a kid. So I was like, oh, this is all about me. Yeah, I just like really liked the Killing Floor series, and then Killing Floor 2, and then I was like, I have to work at Tripwire. So I just kept modding and making maps, and just to build my collection and show them that I was interested, and I just kept poking some of the higher ups. I was friends with John Gibson and stuff like that, so I was poking them, hey, get me to work at Tripwire, please. And finally, the lead LD at the time messaged me. He was like, "Oh, are you serious? Do you really want to work at Tripwire?" I was like, "Dude, I've been poking you for like 6 years. Of course I'm serious." Then they flew me down for an interview.
Oh, so they flew you down for the interview?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I was living on the West Coast. I was in Reno, Nevada. What the interview was crazy because I think the entire office was like curious of who I was because I was pretty famous in the KF1 world for all my mission maps, and they were like, dude, and then I was doing contract work for them, and they're like, who is this Fel person? And so I had 2 interviews there. My first interview, there was probably like 15 people at the table. It was crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah, and the second one there was more. It was like everyone just was I think they were just like so curious of like, who is this person?
It's just like, were you sitting at like the end of the table, like the very
Yeah, it
end?
was like me on one side and then everyone else on the other
Well,
side.
on the other
like,
side.
very big table. I'm like, wow, this is intimidating.
Here's the next question I'll throw at you. What has like Killing Floor and honestly like kind of any game design, what has it really done for your passion? You know?
Yeah, I think just I enjoy level design and game design in general because I like to see people's expressions, like their first reaction of something that I've made or been a part of making. I think that's the most enjoyable moment because I don't get that, right, because us game
Yeah.
developers, we're in it, so we have no idea how a person's going to react to it. And yeah, I just love it. And also the feeling of like making something out of nothing because you have absolutely nothing when you start off, and then throughout time, all of a sudden you have a game. You're like, where did this come from? I really want to take you through Damnation, which is one of my, I guess, people's favorite maps. It's crazy people still play that map as like a gauntlet.
Oh
Because
yeah.
it is a crazy map. It's probably an hour and a half long mission map, but it takes you through the like European city, like an old school European city, and then into a church, and then into like this cult worshiping place, and then through that, and then out back into the city, and then yeah.
Oh, yeah, we definitely got to try that at some point. That sounds fun as hell. So, we're going to throw an actual KF3 question in here for you.
Okay.
So
if I can answer it.
How big of a scope are you like planning for KF3?
Yeah, I can't answer.
You can't answer that. Okay, that's fine.
Next.
Next question. Okay. What was like the development like for KF3? Like, what was your experience? Just kind of like currently working on it, you know?
Yeah, I like Tripwire's development cycle. It's pretty chill. There's usually no crunching, which is great.
Oh, that's
'cause
good. That's really good.
like one of the things that Tripwire is really known for is like we're not going to do crunch time. So as long as you get your work done, they cater your work to your skill set, so you're not like really struggling on making something. If you can do it, work is pretty much easy. I mean, easy for you, maybe not easy for someone else. But yeah.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah, it seems like people's responses is pretty good.
Granted, I mean, there's not a lot of gameplay to go off of, but like, I think the biggest thing for me was the fact that the Flesh Pound now has range.
Yeah.
Like, when I saw that, I about shit my pants because I was just like, he's already scary to deal with, and you guys are making him more scary. How
like,
dare you?
Thing.
Here's kind of a fun question for you.
Okay.
Thingy
question.
Aside from the Flesh Pound, since we've been talking about in Killing Floor 3, and from your time playing the game, what is the scariest or the most difficult like mainstay, like the main cast of Zeds? What is like the scariest one to deal with at the moment? Or at least in your opinion. I should kind of add that.
How do I answer this? Because okay, I have to be NDA on this. So
no. It's totally
feel
cool.
I feel like they've kept a lot of the scariness that KF2 has with their Zeds. Like it's really staying tried and true to KF2. That's all I can say.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's
Flesh Pound's always scary.
I mean, yeah. Well, not that you give him a fucking whip arm, right?
Yeah.
No, that's a completely reasonable response. And that gets me more excited because I'm like, oh shit. Okay. Well, actually, here's kind of a really interesting one. And this isn't like me trying to kind of get some information out of KF3. This is like a genuine question because, when it comes to like sequels, right? Your whole like, at least me as somebody, the whole point of a sequel is to try to do like everything the first game did, but like better, So this question is more like, how has like Killing Floor 2, not just the game, but the community, like how did that kind of impact Killing Floor 3 and evolving its gameplay, you know? Like, what were you guys kind of like taking from Killing Floor 2 or Killing Floor 1 for that matter, and kind of using like what were pillars that you were using to kind of like expand and evolve your vision for Killing Floor 3?
So I can't really talk about the gameplay, but I know that as developers and also fans of Killing Floor, we also, want to make, the community happy as well.
Yeah.
Which is why, well, I guess one thing that's out, it's on Unreal 5. That's a big one. So you can just imagine, what Unreal 5 can do. Yeah, but that's just, just itself. If you were to put KF2 in Unreal 5.
Oh my god. Well, yeah, because
that'd be amazing.
You said Killing Floor 3, or sorry, not 3, but 2 was made in Unreal 3.
Yeah.
Which is so crazy to me because
it was a heavily modded UE Unreal. Yeah.
Yeah, heavily modded Unreal Engine 3, which is so crazy because like the Killing Floor 2 definitely, like, its art style is so vastly different from 1. Like there's like a shine to everything, right? It really kind of like, there's no game that kind of looks like Killing Floor 2. At least no other game I've seen that looks exactly like Killing Floor 2. And, like, that's kind of what gets me excited for 3 is, like, you guys have just taken, like, the Flesh Pound, like, in-game, it looks insane, and it definitely looks like an evolution of the way KF2 looks. Like, it's an evolution of that art style,
Yeah.
Like, the fact that the Flesh Pound now finally has a visor he can see through, right? Instead of it just being spikes on his head.
I watch that trailer again to see stuff I talk about.
Oh yeah, it's so great. Okay, here's kind of one of the silly questions.
Yeah.
What's Horzine's deal? Like, why? Are they like split? Because I was always under the impression that like Horzine is basically Killing Floor's umbrella corporation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they make these Zeds and shit, these like this virus, the mother clot. I think that's what it's called, the mother clot. But also you find out that like there's like two sides of Horzine. Like there's the ones trying to help everybody, and then there's Kevin, the patriarch.
Yeah.
Like, and this isn't like a question specifically for KF3, but more so like 2. But like, what the hell's going on here?
That's a good question. I've always wondered. I always thought that Horzine was like, well, one of the reasons why I made Containment Station, they were like the main producers of the Zeds, and then I think wasn't like Kevin Clamley went crazy or something like that.
I haven't caught up on my KF1 lore enough.
Just world domination.
Pretty much, right? Well, Kevin, he's just like this dude who started creating these creatures, and then he starts like talking about them like they're his children, like his family or something like that. And it's funny because there's a picture of him in KF1, and he just looks like an average normal dude, the big mustache, he wears the glasses. And then he just comes out going like, everything is so much more simple when you have a rocket launcher for an arm. It's like, what?
Well, I believe he was doing like experiments on himself to make himself better, and then I forget who killed him. It was like his twin. He created a twin or something. His twin killed him.
Yeah.
And then that guy was the one that was the patriarch or something like that.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember.
Yeah. Well, I think the whole thing for me, especially with like endless mode, is just the fact that like he keeps talking about how I have to keep cloning all these bosses, right? Like he keeps cloning himself, he keeps cloning Volter. Like I've always been like, holy shit, is there like no way to even like really stop this because they're just cloning them?
Probably not.
Probably not,
The goal of Foster, right? The goal of Foster is to stop them.
Well, yeah. Well, that actually got me to my next question.
Oh yeah, let's go.
which is like how have like the new characters like evolved? Also like Mr.
Yeah,
Mr.
can't answer that.
Okay.
That's the story.
Well, Mr. Foster, Mr.
Nope.
Foster, no. Okay, that's fair.
I have no idea who Foster is.
I have no, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, dude. No issue. Okay, so we're actually gonna get into a different question here. So did you? I mean, granted, like you got like you've been technically like with Tripwire for a long time now.
Yeah.
But did you ever see yourself like getting not only like getting into game design for one, right?
Yeah.
But like working on something like Killing Floor 3, because this is a big game, way bigger than 2.
I think once I got hired by Tripwire, I kind of knew that it was bound to happen sometime. Like I mentioned before, I've been doing this ever since I was a kid. I think I started level designing, and I'm pretty old, so level designing when I was like 8 or something, and this was just on like 2D maps. I was doing like 2D level design until I don't know if you've heard of the game Thief, but that's where I started my 3D level design, which blew my mind, and I was like probably 11 at that time. Yeah, and then I just started making a whole bunch of maps. Thief, I was like, oh, this is a cool hobby. And then I actually went to college for music, musical performance for guitar, and got my degree in that. But while I was in college, before then I was making Killing for 1 maps, but then I went to college, and then I was making a couple KF2 maps, and then they had that contest, and then I won the first round of the contest for the mission map.
Yeah.
And it was like I think it was like a $20,000 prize while I was in college. I was like, I can make what? I was like, what? I can make money doing this?
Holy shit.
Because before then, I was like kind of contracting for like clans and stuff like that. Like I'd make them a map for a couple $100 or whatever. But then, I won that contest, and then they contacted me and wanted to buy the map, which was Containment Station. And that was another, lump sum.
Damn.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, no, I can.
I remember though, I was doing contract work for KF1 too. I can't remember when I actually realized, I can make money doing this. But whenever I got my first paycheck from Tripwire, I was like, what?
Yeah, you're sitting there just looking at it like, holy shit.
I remember I was in college. I was in math class, which boring. I was just thinking, dude, I just made $20,000. Why am I sitting here?
Yeah, why am I literally sitting here in this math class right now? Like, I just got a check from Tripwire for just making something, Oh,
and then Husk Factory, they had the round 2, and I won the objective mode for Husk Factory as well. I think that was like 10 grand, dude. I was like,
yeah, well, I think that actually kind of leads into an interesting part is like, because I played Husk Factory on stream,
it broke.
but it never ended up in the game, like, and I'm kind of like surprised by that.
I can't remember my old boss's reasoning. He had a reasoning. I can't remember what it was. I remember his reasoning. He had a legitimate reasoning. It was something about story or something that I can't remember. Maybe it was a BS reasoning. But,
okay. It was okay. I see. It's probably something with like the lore on how the husks are made.
I remember.
Oh, you do?
I remember. Yeah. So I got hired in the middle of like all this. So I got hired by them after I won Husk Factory, and then since I was hired at Tripwire, they couldn't actually take that map and buy it for me. That's what it was.
Oh, really?
So so they were like, well, we can't actually legally get that. So I'm just like, oh, okay.
Did you get any prize though? Like,
yeah, I got the prize money for that.
Fuck yeah. That's cool. I think this is kind of a question for myself, because whenever like a new big game is announced, right? You get a lot of streamers and you get a lot of people like talking about it,
Yeah.
But out of all the streamers that you could have gone into, like, what got you to choose my stream? Because that was a huge deal for me, right? Because I thought you were fucking with me when you said,
I was just scrolling through because we just announced. And I was just scrolling through, and then your camera looked nice, it was very clickable. And I forget what your title said, but it was a very clickable. And
It
I was like, I'm gonna
was
click on this.
it was Killing Floor 3 makes me cream.
Yeah, that's what it was. I was like, yes, I'm gonna click on this.
That honestly would have made the most sense in that factor, but like
Yeah.
everything about that level to me is just fun, especially the traps because like
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I think that was like really the first.
I think it is.
Yeah, that was the first level with traps, and also there's a buyable door, which
Yeah, my boss put that one in. That was his idea. That was a really cool idea.
oh really? Yeah, there's a buyable door, kind of next to where the fire trap is, and it's just it reminded us so much of like like Call of Duty Zombies. Like
Yeah.
we were like they're taking traits from Call of Duty Zombies and just doing way better with it. Like we honestly,
Yeah, I really.
Oh,
Mhm.
oh go
I was
ahead.
just gonna. I was gonna say I really enjoyed the traps. I think one of my favorite traps is that fireplace trap with Dragon's Mouth. I think it's
Oh,
still
yeah.
a Dragon's Mouth. Yeah, it
Yes.
used to be the giant dinosaur head. That was as the block out mesh. You know the dinosaur head that you can put on your character.
Oh yeah.
That's what the fireplace used to be.
Oh.
Until environment was like, this is not gonna be here. I said, okay, well this has to be a Dragon's Mouth or something.
Awesome. Okay, so here's a question.
Yeah.
And you know, it's one of those things where like if you can't, it's all good. But you know, judging by the footage, you know, from the trailer, the small tidbit we get, like levels are more dynamic. Now, KF2 had some dynamic like aspects to some of the levels. Like one of them is definitely Zed Landing, the island area where like the volcano erupts and like there's like lines of lava that kind of pour in. You know, that was kind of like a new thing.
That's a pretty cool map.
Yeah, it is a really really cool map. And then you
That
know,
was that was like a magic trick to pull off. You should see the kismet behind that stuff.
oh really?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And then you know the fact that Monster Ball, like if you play it on survival at least, you know the sky turns red. It's
that was
like
cool.
that was such a cool thing. But you know we're seeing these levels be more dynamic, and you yourself have said like that's your coding. You know, like it's one of those things like how dynamic are we talking, and like how was that for you to be able to kind of create something so dynamic?
On the other part of that question, I mean, it's stressful. It's not all my coding. It's a very team effort. You know, someone's you know people set it up, and then I'm managing it and adding to it. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's all I can say about that. But
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. No. Awesome. All right. Well, here's the next question, and this is kind of like a personal one for you. You know, like what's it like to be able to play an unreleased game still in development that you have the ability to put your own mark on? Like, what does that do for you?
Well, I think in the beginning of my career it was exciting, but now I'm just numb to it because I'm a vet now.
Oh yeah.
We just have to get this to make sure it's fun and get it out.
Right.
But I've always been in the mindset of if I'm still having fun making it up all the way to the end, and then I still want to play it, it's probably gonna be a fun game for the public.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, as someone from an outside perspective, you know, not being able to work on the game, you know, like, and yeah, I can imagine, you know, you've been in the gist of it for so long that you know you feel kind of numb to it, but like you know the idea, you know, like okay, like someone like myself, right? You know, if fucking Capcom rolled over and was like, hey, if we teach you how to make games, do you want to work on Devil May Cry 6? I'd be like, yes, please.
Yeah.
Please. Absolutely. I would love to put my mark on that because, you know, you as someone who's working on KF3, you know, you yourself get to actually put your own touches to the game, you know? Like you're able, and you know, you get to play it on a daily basis, you know, and I can imagine that gets kind of boring after a while, you know, playing the same thing over and over again. bug testing, I can tell you for sure, I feel that working on maps myself, you know, bug testing is like one of the most difficult things because you feel like you feel like you find everything and then you release it and then like,
Oh yeah.
with
I mean,
my,
to clarify, I'm not numb. Like I still enjoy playing it. I'm just like numb to the whole, oh, I'm playing a game that's secret. Like I really don't care. Let's get it out.
right.
Yeah.
But still, like I can imagine, you know, that is a that is a really cool thing that you're able to do. You know?
Well, also on that note where you said teach me how to make a game, Unreal, like if you want to make a game, Unreal has some really cool tools, and they if you do Unreal 4, they pretty much have you set up to make any game that you want already. You just like click a button and be like, I want to make this type of game, and it's like on a list, and then like the basics is already there for you, which is great for like people who are just learning and wanting to make something. So you could definitely probably put something together in a week with some YouTube videos with Unreal 4, like really quick.
Well, that actually, since we're kind of on this topic, this actually leads to my next question. You know, as a person myself, because you're you're living my dream. You know, when I was a kid, I had always wanted to get into game design. And
Get your portfolio up.
right, and honestly,
apply for entry level, there's a lot of entry level jobs out there you could probably easily get with a small portfolio.
oh yeah,
Especially you said you have like 80,000. Like if I was to look at your portfolio and you had 80,000 downloads on a map, I would at least interview you for entry level.
well,
I'd be like, oh,
I appreciate it.
I'd be like, oh, this is interesting.
Well, yeah, and there's a lot of other people like me, who kind of want to get into that, and I've heard, building a portfolio, and Doom Snap Map, like I've discussed with you, is we had a user in Doom Snap Map named Zilla. He basically talked about how Snap Map was a Fisher Price dev kit, essentially. Which it is, so like it's one of those things where building a portfolio off of a snap map kind of thing, I'm not super sure if that would actually like really kind of go anywhere, but it's still something that I am kind of building.
Yeah, and then like I said, start making small stuff on UE5, and but it's at least showing that hey, the how things flow. You're good at flow. You're probably good at gameplay, at least enough for 80,000 people to like it. So at least you got something there, right? Which,
Oh, yeah.
Which I go into maybe level design or stuff like that. But that's why I say now maybe make a Kiln for a 2 map or something. Or
I would love to try.
Yeah.
That's something that I would love to try and do.
I was going to say, I mean, I guess a little self promotion here.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So, Epic is doing a game jam. I believe it's on the 11th. It starts, and I'm actually participating. Part of my roommate and I, and then our person, we're going to be on this game jam, and I'm going to be streaming my development on it.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I'm going to be doing work.
Yeah.
And then after work, I'm going to be doing game jam. So I'm going to be working
That's
for
awesome.
8 hours and then game jam for 8 hours. So I'm going to be we're going to be making stuff then.
And then
I
get
don't
4
know
hours of
what.
sleep.
Yeah. I run on 4 hours of sleep anyway, so.
Oh no, I feel it. I feel it.
But yeah, I would say you could definitely watch and probably learn a few things in UE5, because I'm going to be doing lots of scripting and level design. Watching level design is pretty peaceful, I think.
It there's something about it that you just kind of just enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when I would stream me creating levels and stuff, just out of the whole like want to do it. My buddy's sitting at the foot of my door in my room right now, staring at me with peak content right now.
I used to do these streams. So I had a channel point reward on Twitch. It was like 100,000, where people could like pull all their points together to try and get it.
Yeah.
And then when they hit that, I'd spin a wheel of like game types that they wanted or that they like gave me, and then whatever it hit, I would make that game. The very next stream, I'd make that game in one stream usually.
Yeah.
So I would sit down with pretty much nothing, and then have prototype by the end of the stream, which would be like maybe a 6-hour, 8-hour stream. But those are really cool streams.
I would imagine so, especially just being able to dink around and work on something just for the love of it. Honestly,
Yeah.
I mean that kind of stuff is really fascinating to me personally, especially watching Unreal like tutorials.
Yeah.
Just kind of like copying what they're doing and like using it as a practice basis, and then like I remember when I was watching. I can't remember what the channel name is, but he's like this dude who does like 4-hour long Unreal tutorials where he'll start with nothing and then he'll just like make a beautiful like just landscape with trees and everything's working. The lighting is great, and he
You have
also
to be careful with tutorials because sometimes their blueprint, it works, but it's not like industry standard. Like, it's like, oh my god, this is gonna lag to hell.
yeah,
It's gonna
no,
lag.
I can totally understand that.
Yeah. At least you're like learning how to do it one way, and then like learning the functions and whatnot. But yeah, you have to be careful with tutorials.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, that actually answered like kind of multiple of my questions, especially
Cool.
like any like advice or thought process, with like how game design works, and that's really cool.
I do want to say, like, never give up on your design because it's very easy to start something. It's very difficult to finish it
Oh yeah,
because it takes a lot of work to finish something to completion, and it's fun in the beginning until you're like, 2 years in, 16-hour days, and you're
right.
like by yourself.
Oh yeah, especially if you're by yourself, it's
Yeah.
Okay, well, here's kind of the next question. You as yourself, like, what was like your favorite moments about Killing Floor 1 and 2? Like, not only getting into map design for Killing Floor 1, but like the excitement that happened when KF2 got announced. What was that like for you?
Well, I actually knew KF2 was happening before it got announced.
Oh, really?
Inside, I don't know if I should. Well, the guy's dead now, so rest in peace,
Rest
Al
in
Nelson.
peace.
But yeah, he was letting me know because I was kind of working on KF1 stuff on the side, and then he hit me up and he was like, "Hey, you want a KF2 key?" I was like, "Yes."
Yes, please.
And he was like, "Hey, KF2's coming out, and then we're having a mapping contest, so you should make sure that you enter it." Okay, so yeah, I think my favorite moments is actually, I don't want to say that I started, the mission system and because I know KF2 has the objective system and KF1 has it as well.
Yeah.
But me and my friend kind of came up with that stuff, and then we created Candle Smoke, and everyone loved it, and that was super popular.
Yeah.
We made a few more mission maps, and then everyone loved it, and super popular. And then Tripwire hit me up and was like, "Hey, you want to help work on, getting an actual mission system for KF1?" And I was like, "Yes."
Yes.
And I did that, and I worked with Alex Quick on that, and then because we used one of our it was a Christmas theme map. It was like probably our 10th mission map that my friend and I made. We used that as the prototype map for that.
Oh, okay.
And then all of a sudden, boom! Here's missions for KF1, and then the missions for KF2. But I think that's my favorite. My favorite moments is the KF1 days of creating all those mission maps.
Oh yeah, especially when you got like someone from Tripwire, asking if you want to actually work on something like that. You'd be like jumping in your seat, like absolutely.
That's when I realized, I can actually, they're paying attention to me for one, and I can actually start making some money with this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can build off of that, But and look where you're at now,
Yeah.
Like you're a part of that dev team. Here's kind of a fun one for you. What's and I guess you could answer this for both KF1 and 2. Like what is your favorite class? In Killing Floor?
Oh yeah.
And why?
I think my favorite class is demo, and because I love blowing stuff up. I love the I just love how the demo class plays. I guess it's a toss up because I do love support with the boomstick, but
Yeah.
not as much as demo. I guess my second favorite would be medic because I'm always a support type person. Like in any game, I'll heal. I'll be a healer, or I'll come in with the stuff that you need to and wait, oh, here's armor, or in any
Yeah.
game, even in League of Legends or something. I like playing the support classes. Yeah, so I really enjoy medic as you could tell.
Yeah, the match that we did on Wave 39, me getting cornered 4 times in a row, and this motherfucker somehow just keeps me alive, Like, I got down to like 16 health at one point, and you shot me back up to 100 so quick. Even when I was cornered, and I'm sitting there.
And
like,
I was healing your friend as well because he was getting down.
Yeah, you were healing both of us like crazy. Yeah. And I just remember going like, how in the... That's why I was like, best medic? Like, I was so certain.
I had to jump. I was like jumping to shoot over the heads because I ran out of healing grenades because I was just like using them on you until I ran out. I was like, okay, well.
Just sitting there just
it's a lot of weapon swapping as medic because you only get like pretty much 2 per weapon every 10 seconds or whatever, so you have to primary, secondary pistol and just keep on doing that.
Well, a demolitionist is as well, and that's kind of the interesting thing about all the perks and about Killing Floor 2. Yeah. And granted, I don't have as much experience with Killing Floor 1 as I do 2, but like every perk serves a purpose, right?
Yeah.
And every perk is really, really good in their own way. And demo is especially, like, I would say one of the most, like, if you were to actually try and go for like really difficult, runs or really high rounds, a demo I would say is actually really important because like the amount of flesh pounds that will just decide to spawn, like you have like other classes that can use explosives too.
I support the double barrel is pretty good for that too. But yeah, the demo. What I love about the Zeds in Killing Floor 2 is they have certain moments in their animations where they have weak points. So for example, when the flesh pound opens up his arms, he's actually weaker than when he's like closing up his arms.
Yeah.
So that's actually when you want to hit them, which is very cool. So you're like waiting for that moment to just use like your maximum shot that you can do.
Oh yeah, well that's why like intentionally, unless like I'm the last one alive and there's 100 Zeds following me around. That's why like intentionally I will like let a flesh pound follow me, and I'll let him run up to me so that way he opens up and I just fucking unload on the dude. We got
17 left.
Nope. I'm gonna, because some of these I realized are probably not like gonna get anything, but 2 of them I'm just gonna ask just for the sake of hilarity. One of them is kind of genuine, and then the other one I know I'm gonna get a straight no from. What was okay? And when I say like thought process, right? I'm not asking for you to spill the beans on like anything. It's just like and if you don't genuinely know, that's totally fine. But what was the like thought process for the development team to jump the world 70 years into the future?
I honestly don't know.
Really?
Yeah, that's an honest answer.
Well, yeah, and that's why I wanted to reiterate that because it's crazy to me, because I remember I had found an article talking about how like a lot of people were really worried because the game is jumping 70 years into the future, the world and the story. You got this team called Nightfall. It's kind of like what was their whole like reasoning to do something like that, but also like they've made it pretty clear that we are going to still be seeing like your average conventional weaponry in the game, and I would imagine especially with Killing Floor 2 and it's like futuristic weapons that they have, like we will be seeing like futuristic kind of weapons, but like what that tells me is that like, because Killing Floor 1 is more isolated, I think, and then KF2 is like a lot more, like there's a lot more shit going on, especially with like Paris falling down, so like I think Paris gets nuked because there's the level nuke. But now, like, you know, this is like 70 years in the future, still dealing with the Zeds. This is a huge deal. Like, this is like end of the world kind of shit. Like, it is leaked out this bad, and that's why you know, I wonder about our characters, and I wonder about, like, you know, what is this going to kind of like really entail for the, I mean, granted, it's going to be a co-op, like 6-player shooter, of course, you know, and Killing Floor, like, it has its lore, but it never really has, like, I mean, there's missions and stuff, and like I said, I can't really say much for 1, because I know there's like a mission based kind of thing to that, and I know there's a little bit more story beats to that than 2. KF2 doesn't really have a lot of story beats to it. You're just kind of like,
it's pretty chaotic.
yeah, KF2 is pretty chaotic. You don't really get an explanation for anything, which is totally fine. You know, I mean, like I said, it's a co-op 6-player shooter. So, like, I'm not expecting to be told this, like, you know, vast, huge story. It's just as someone who loves to delve into the universes of a game series that I love, you know, I can't help but wonder, you know, I can't help but want to know that story, know why this is all happening. Why are we jumping to 2091? And
I guess you'll have to find out.
yeah, exactly. Like, I guess I will have to find out. Which leads me to my last question: is there a campaign?
I'm not saying anything.
Well, honestly, I feel like those are the best questions I'm gonna get. You know, definitely kind of recording for an hour. I did not mean for this to go on for an hour, but you know, when you keep going, you keep going. You know what I mean?
I'm a streamer, dude. I can go.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, to end it off, I want to say, you know, thank you, Phil, for you know, for not only diving into my stream and being a cool guy. I'm just like, oh my god. I have a dead friend.
Let me plug. I want to everyone check me out, Fel350 on Twitch.
Oh yeah, no, I will absolutely make sure that you get plugged.
Music.
Yep.
Music.
The music. I'm gonna make sure.
I'll tell you why I do music.
Oh yeah, go nuts.
So I used to make games when I was not working. So I just like make games at work and then make games when I'm not working, and I just like started to kind of feel burnout, which I didn't want because I don't want to burn out on my passion.
Oh yeah, no, I feel
So
that.
I had to find, and also like I said, I went to college for music. So I wanted to do something that I liked doing, but was different than making games, but also I could still be an introvert.
I feel it. I feel it.
I was like, I'm gonna make some music, so that's why I just booted up Ableton, and then that's why I started doing it on my off time, and then it's been a fun ride. I'm actually under a label, Sunny Beach Records, for my music. Yeah, it's starting to move, and then you saw the DJ studio that we just built.
I watched the stream while I was playing.
Not really a studio, but the camera shot that we just built.
I love the backlights too. I love the little plants you have as well. But yeah, no.
But check me out. I don't know when we're gonna be streaming. I'm trying to figure out a schedule, but yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, check out Phil. I'll have his like Twitch channel linked into the description. I'll post like something for the video so that way you guys can see everything for you, dog. Like, just thank you for your time.
Yeah.
And
we're gonna game after this.
And absolutely. And I'll reiterate this at the beginning of the video too. But like, I don't want people to expect that we're not gonna get like any real coherent answers for any of this.
I can't think crap.
Yeah, because NDA stuff. So like that is that is the one thing about being under an NDA. You can't really disclose anything, especially for how early like we just got one trailer. We might not see anything for a very long time after. Like there's not a lot of info that's going to be going around, which is understandable. So, and I want people to I want to reiterate that because I don't want him to get in trouble. I don't want anybody to get in trouble. And I want to make sure that you're able to work on this game as well as you guys are. And I'm completely all for it, and I'm completely in support.
Oh yeah.
For you guys, and I really hope it comes out great. Because
I'm pretty sure once it launches, we'll be playing together.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Well, I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you so much, Phil. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you for your time.
Thank
And
you.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. And you all have a fantastic day. Peace out, guys.
Mary.
Mary, Mary.